months and years in the case of most of the devotees. They've been chanting, following principles, regulated life, study of the scriptures, marking their bodies with tilak. All these different pancha samskaras have been going on for many years in most cases, performing austerities. The builders are coming in. This is a screen for, we hope, which will give us an opportunity to have a little closer association with Janananda Maharaj when he speaks. So these pre-preparations are going on and will continue to go on. Devotional service, initiation by definition means beginning. But we can see the beginning, the devotees have already begun, there's no doubt. They've accepted Srila Prabhupada as their eternal Siksha Guru. They've accepted the process which he's given us. They're applying it in their lives, preparing ourselves, not just for what we call initiation, but preparing to go back to Godhead, to progress through the various stages of devotional service. Right now, we're on the platform of Bhajana Kriya. Practical worship, practical devotion. And within that stage of Bhajana Kriya, not in this particular case, in our Sampradaya, in this particular age, means primarily we are cultivating the chanting of the holy name with other services, of course, in the association of devotees as much as we can. And our devotional practices are primarily focused around developing our genuine doesn't just mean blind faith, but genuine faith, which means realization. Total commitment, realization, dedication to the chanting of the holy names. So in that stage of Bhajana Kriya, where we're already chanting, there is a stage where one Guru Padashraya, when one takes shelter of the Guru, commits oneself to responsibility under the shelter of a spiritual master in the line of disciplic succession, and engages, generally speaking, in tradition, up to the stage of official initiation. One's bhajan may or may not be steady. But when one receives initiation, traditionally, at that stage one receives from the spiritual master directions, appropriate directions suitable for helping one to advance or progress further in spiritual life. They may vary from one individual to another or one spiritual master to another. As we see in ISKCON, some devotees will be encouraged to work towards deity worship, some maybe administration, some other activities, preaching, book distribution, maybe many other services too, according to the condition of the living entity, the devotee. The spiritual master or those who are acting in that role as temple administrators or whatever, leaders, may engage them in different services, sometimes according to their nature, sometimes according to the need, sometimes a combination. Whatever it may be, it's for the ultimate progress of the devotee. But whatever we're doing, the primary activity of our movement is chanting the holy names and to cultivate what is known as Shuddhanam. Generally, when we first come, we may not really be very familiar or aware of what's going on. We chant, our chanting may not be so pure. It may not be offensive. Sometimes we find after a while that our chanting becomes conscious. We're aware of what's going on. We're aware of the offenses to be avoided while chanting the holy name. And we're conscious that we're not actually following properly. We are committing offenses. We are offensive. In the beginning, that awareness may not be there. So it's a kind of namabhas which enables us to initially start our devotional practices. Then we realize that within our hearts, we're holding on to so many material attachments. Maybe we have offensive mentality. Huh? We may be envious of somebody or critical of somebody. We may have misconceptions about the nature of the Absolute. We may have all kinds of material desires. We may have doubts, all kinds of different, let's say, anarthas, unwanted concepts or thoughts, desires within our hearts. So it's essential, if we want to develop love of Godhead, to purify our consciousness. So I'm going to read now from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 8, text 16. If one is infested, oh, you know this verse. Bahu janma kariyari shravana kirtana. Chaupati? No. Anybody know it? Where's Vishnujan? Okay, go for it. Whoa! Haribol. But does it mean that nobody else knows it? Does anyone else know this verse? It's a pretty important verse. In fact, in many temples, we chant this every day. Have you heard it before? Where? Yeah, the majority of all the temples is good. Every morning, before reciting the, or after, whichever way, the 10 offenses, to be avoided while chanting, we chant this verse. And it's a good one to remember. If one is infested with the 10 offenses in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, despite his endeavor to chant the holy name for many births, he will not get the love of Godhead. That is the ultimate goal of this chanting. Pretty clear, isn't it? What do you think? Is it clear? You won't get it. You can chant for many lifetimes, so you won't get it. Do we want it or not? Yes, yes, yes. We've heard it before. And how much do we really want it? How sincere are we really? How much are we really keen, and how much are we really eager and willing to sacrifice in order to obtain that goal? That's the price, you could say, of our Krishna consciousness, or the reciprocation of Krishna. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says in this connection that although one may go on chanting the Hare Krishna mantra for many, many years, there is no possibility of attaining the platform of devotional service unless one accepts Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One must follow strictly the instruction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu given in the Sikshastakam. Now this one you may know, the third verse of the Sikshastakam. Come on, all loud and clear. Chena tarodapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadaharihi. And what does that mean? Does anyone know? Hopefully you do. This is a little bit of a, let's say, it's not a hint, it's an absolute necessity. But Kaviraj Goswami, who's compiled this literature, has declared that one should take this verse and string it around one's neck. Not to hang yourself. Ooh. What for? Constant remembrance when we chant the holy name. one should chant the holy name of the Lord. In what state of mind? A humble state of mind. You'll have to find out what humble means. No. I know I'm humble, but I don't know about you. You've got a problem. You're not respecting me. You're puffed up. I should be respected and recognized. Humble state of mind. Thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. There's lots of straw in the street here. Lower than the straw in the street. Straw in the street's pretty low, huh? But even lower. The devotee even lower than that. Lower than the straw in the street. Sometimes the straw comes, you step on it, it comes back up again. Huh? Devotee is always in a humble. We missed here. One should be more tolerant than a tree. You know, trees are generally known as pretty tolerant. You feed them or don't feed them, they just tolerate. They have no choice, you could say, but they do. They tolerate. You burn them, you cut them, you do all sorts of things to trees. Maybe there's a drought. They just tolerate. They can't do anything about it. Because a devotee is more tolerant than a tree. They don't have any choice. We do have a choice, to some extent. So a devotee is very tolerant. Tolerant, again, you have to really look into that, what it really means to be tolerant. There are certain areas we're not tolerant. But on our own account, when our false ego is offended, sometimes we don't display so much tolerance, huh? To practice tolerance. And what else? Devoid of all sense of false prestige. There's prestige maybe there, but false prestige. False prestige means based on one's karmic conditions. Maybe we've got some talents karmically. We should become proud of that. Proud can be there in terms of how wonderful Krishna is, how wonderful other devotees are, how wonderful Krishna's arrangements are. We're proud of other devotees. We're proud of our spiritual masters, proud of Krishna's amazing mercy, and so on and so forth. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. I missed the line, didn't I? Who knows it? Devoid of all sense, we mentioned that. And should be ready to offer all respects to myself. No, to others. To others, is it? To others, okay. Good to know. But a tendency sometimes is, I want to be respected. Why should I respect anyone else? They don't respect me. One who follows this direction, being freed from the 10 kinds of offenses, becomes successful in Krishna consciousness and ultimately reaches the platform of loving service to the personality of Godhead. One must come to the understanding that the holy name of the Lord and the Supreme Personality of Godhead are identical. One cannot reach this conclusion unless one is offenseless in chanting the holy name. We may theoretically say it, but conclusively, this realization only manifests according to the offenseless chanting. By the grace of Krishna, we'd like to welcome His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj Ki Jai. He's just secretly been doing initiations in Prabhupada's room. Real initiations. Hare Krishna. Mantra Diksha. How many devotees? I think 12? 12? 8. 8 fortunate, 9. 9 fortunate souls have just received Mantra Diksha from His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj. Haribo! Blessings to all those devotees. Please give them all blessings. Everyone here, please give their blessings to all those nice devotees who've just taken second initiation from Radhanath Maharaj. Haribo! That's not very much of a blessing. Come on, louder. Haribo! And welcome to any other devotees, Vishnu Murti Prabhu and others who've recently arrived. I saw Bogini. I don't think she's with us here in the room. Maybe not. Is she here? No, maybe around. Senior sister, God sister from the UK. Thank you all very much for coming. And on that note, we should always understand that our advancement in Krishna consciousness is not dependent on a mechanical process. We may try to execute service perhaps in a mechanical way in the beginning, but ultimately it depends on the mercy of the Lord. And how do we get the mercy of the Lord? How do you get the mercy of the Lord? The mercy of the devotees. Thank you, somebody said. How can we get the mercy of the Lord if we don't get the mercy of the Lord's devotees? And how do we get the mercy of the devotees? Pardon? Serving them. You have to find out how to serve them, what that means in terms of perhaps a particular time, place, and circumstance. But service to the Vaishnavas, this is the secret. Chariya Vaishnava Seva, Nistaya Payecha Keba. Narottam Das Thakur said, nobody can go back to Godhead without service to the Vaishnavas. Not possible. And what happens when you serve the Vaishnavas? Blessings, very nice. We hope. And in fact, we depend on those blessings. Even if you don't serve the Vaishnavas are all merciful. Vanchakalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. I hope we all know what that means, especially the candidates for initiation. You better learn quickly if you don't know. We offer our respectful obeisances unto who? All the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. Why? Huh? They're like desire trees, fulfilling the real desires of living entity. Not that they're going to get you a new car, a new house, a new husband, wife, dog, whatever else you want. No, their real desire, the living entity, we're looking for love. We're looking for, the natural qualities of every living entity, spiritually speaking, are unity. We're all looking for, peace, unity, happiness, love. And only the Vaishnavas know how that can be, because without connecting with Krishna, there's no question of fulfillment of that natural desire or need. And only they can give it, because they connect us with Krishna. So by pleasing those devotees, they put a good word in. And they are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. They're full of compassion. It's not just you serve me, I serve you, but even if a person has no interest, the devotee is very compassionate, is always thinking how to help these servants of Krishna. This Sankirtan movement is eternal. It's the nature of the spiritual realm. And these eternal associates come into this world to give us the opportunity to return back to Godhead. But their primary intent, the real compassion, Radharani is the manifestation of the compassionate nature of Krishna. Why? Because she is sorry to see that, not say sorry, but she's always in the mood of how to increase Krishna's pleasure, how to bring more pleasure to Krishna. And especially in relationship to this world, when Radharani and her associates see that Krishna's parts and parcels are not bringing pleasure to Krishna. It brings sadness to the devotee, paradukha dukhi, to see that other living entities are not bringing pleasure to Krishna. They're trying to please themselves. So they try to preach, they try to engage others in bringing pleasure to Krishna. That's why this is the greatest service of all, to preach Krishna consciousness, because it pleases Radharani. The more living entities are connected to Krishna in pure devotion, the more Radharani is satisfied, because her beloved is satisfied. Naturally, if you lose your finger, the best thing you could do for somebody is to help them get their finger back. If somebody loses their child, there's nothing you can do to satisfy the mother or the child. The only thing is if you can return the child to the mother. You can feed the child, you can give the child toys, you can talk to the mother, you can give her $1 million, but she will not be satisfied. The child will not be satisfied. Only when that's reuniting. Prabhupada started a revolution, a real revolution. This movement is a revolution. The root meaning of revolution is, pardon? Revolt? Well, you're not from France. What is the real meaning of revolution? Pardon? Probably right. Yes, to return to one's normality. It's not just, getting angry and throwing bricks around. It means to return to our normal condition. This is the only revolution. Everything else is just a dream. This is a reality. To return to our real, natural, constitutional position as, what is your constitution? I don't mean nature of your physical belly or stomach or heart or whatever. What is your constitution? Not even your doshas, huh? Krishna Das. Not even Krishna Das. Yes, it is, but even more. What did Lord Chaitanya say? Gopi Bhatta Pada Kamala. Das, 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 Anudas. You can go on and on. Servant of the servant, the servant of the servant, 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 servant. This is our position. This is what this is our constitution. It's not just something to get you to do what you're told. This is our natural constitution. And that's where real happiness naturally manifests. You don't need to make a separate endeavor. Krishna is the reservoir of happiness. If we connect in the proper way, then happiness is automatic. You don't have to make a separate endeavor. Knowledge, renunciation, happiness comes naturally. So I'll just finish this purport, or maybe, I don't know. Time flies. Oh my God. We won't be able to finish the purport, but we're okay. We've reached the main point. The 10 offenses which we want. How many of us want to avoid the 10 offenses? Not every hand is going up. I can see some honest people in the room. It's amazing how we all say, yes, I want to love God. I want to go back to Godhead. I want to surrender. I want to chant Hare Krishna. I want to avoid the offenses. It's good. We have to cultivate that mood. But it's not just a matter of sentiment. It's a matter of practice. Huh? If we have more time, I'd read to you dozens of verses in systematic way of how we, regarding avoiding the offenses against chanting. I'm just going to quickly go through them without comment. What is the first offense to be avoided? Yes. Second offense. When everyone speaks at the same time, it's like, Third offense. First offense, to blaspheme those devotees who dedicated their lives to the propagation of the holy name of the Lord. Second offense, consider the names of the demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or of Lord Vishnu. This is basically, sometimes it's said to be the most serious of the offenses because it's actually Mayavad philosophy. there's a tendency for every living entity in this world to be infected with Mayavad philosophy of various forms. So this is an offense against the holy name to maintain a Mayavadi mentality. Third offense? Yes, perfect. To disobey orders of the spiritual master. Is that right? Me, Maharaj. I thought I had, that's my name, me, Maharaj. I got a new name. I've been renamed. Me, Maharaj. Mean Maharaj. Yes, it's me. It's me. False ego is so wonderful. Fourth offense. Okay, I'll do it like this. To blaspheme the Vedic literatures, or literature of Vedic version. Fifth offense. One at a time. To consider the glories of chanting the holy name as imagination. The glories. Sixth offense. To give some on the holy name, or the meaning of the holy name, or interpreting it. Seventh offense. To commit sinful activities on the strength of chanting the holy names. Eighth offense. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna one of the auspicious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas as fruitive. Where's the fruit? Bring the fruit. Fruitive activity. Or karma kanda. Each one of these points we could talk the whole time. But ninth offense. To preach to the faithless about the holy name, especially the glories of the holy name. We do distribute the holy name en masse, but not that we talk about it en masse, about the glories of the holy name or whatever descriptions. People will not understand. 10th offense, to not have what? Complete faith. Not just faith, complete faith in the chanting of the holy names, and to maintain what? Material what? Attachments. Don't be too attached now to your nice new dhoti and kirtan. But look after it carefully, okay? It's Krishna's property. Not to be attached. What is it? Where do we get to there? Even after what? Hearing what? So many instructions on this matter. Isn't it amazing? We hear again and again and again, and still sometimes we do, isn't it? We hear the philosophy, we hear the offenses, and still takes some time. And what's the other? There is another offense. Anyone know? Sometimes included. Pramada is sometimes inclusive in the 10 offenses. What is that? Huh? Inattention while chanting the holy name. And that's probably, in many cases, and in fact it is more or less a crossroads. Bhaktivinoda Thakur in some places describes how this inattention, perhaps we can read it. Let me see if I can find it. How inattention has such an effect on our devotional service, positively and maybe negatively. Here we have it. Srimad Bhagavatam, African sponsorship. What is this? Vasikananda, it's the wrong page. I've got an exile. If anyone wants to sponsor, it says here, a French Srimad Bhagavatam for the African French-speaking countries, you can. You're welcome. We have 6 sponsors so far and one more promise here. If anyone, what's that got to do with initiation? Let me get that off the screen a minute. What is this? How to change font? Many things have come on in the meantime. Here we go. How much time do we have? Pramada. I'll give you a clue here. In the Harinam Chintamani, Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes each offense, but he also describes various ways of progressing beyond that particular offense to become offenseless. If we want to come to Shuddhanam, which is the before we come to love of Krishna, we have to come to Shuddhanam. It is impossible, he says. So this is kind of reassuring. Bhaktivinoda says, it is impossible for the jiva to single-handedly avoid and overcome the illusion of distraction. It's impossible. It is impossible for the jiva to single-handedly overcome the illusion of distraction. However, by the mercy of the Lord, this is accomplished with ease. Therefore, is that the alarm clock? Time up? Time to wake up. Jeev Jago. If you're sleeping, wake up. It is essential, therefore, to fervently beg. Did you get that? Beg. And after the ceremony, I forgot to mention you all have to beg. Did they fill you in on that? You have to go. These people out here are all very rich. Some of them are even from England. They're really rich, those ones. You have to knock them up, okay? Huh? It's actually Prabhupada's written that the disciple must go afterwards and ask for dakshin. So that's a final cap on the process of the ceremony. We have to beg for the Lord's grace with great humility. No force, just humble. And if anyone wants to give a little mite for these devotees in their service to the Lord, please do. This is the jiva's only, and he says, only means of salvation is the mercy of the Lord. Prabhupada writes, he said, the awakening of our dormant love of God does not at all depend upon the mechanical process of hearing and chanting, but depends wholly and solely on the mercy of the Lord. We've already discussed a little bit how that comes about. The mercy of the Lord is essential, absolutely essential. We have another 5 minutes. We'll just read a few more verses. There's so many verses on this subject matter. Perhaps we could just ask a question because time is so short. As we've just covered this little subject briefly of the importance of chanting offenselessly, developing Shuddha. Shuddha means pure chanting of the holy name, that chanting which brings pleasure to Radharani, to Krishna. How can we do that? We've heard the primary one here, only by the mercy of the Lord, particularly when it comes to inattention. Any more comments on that? How we could become offenseless? We have to ask ourselves, first of all, how sincere or serious we are about becoming offenseless. But let's just assume we are. Anyone has a suggestion how we can become offenseless in our chanting? Praying, which is a follow-on to begging for the Lord's mercy, specifically praying to the holy name. Anything else? Pardon? Okay, we heard that earlier on. Practically trying to apply that in our lives is essential. It's a big subject matter, particularly in the association of devotees. Service in the association of devotees is unique. Have you ever noticed you have to practice a little tolerance in the association of devotees sometimes? Never. Never tolerate. We don't last long, do we? The association of devotees is really this mercy of Krishna, a wonderful opportunity to cultivate that which pleases Krishna, the humility, tolerance, respect. Sometimes you have to be a little humble, showing respect. Have you ever noticed on Sankirtan, when I say Sankirtan, I mean, let's say on the street. You're on the street in London, Brno, Paris, Prague, Sao Paulo, Belfast, wherever you're from, huh? Different places. Some of you are from other countries, Belgium, and you go on the street. Have you ever noticed? It's not usually that people come up and start bowing down to you. Please accept my obeisances. How can I serve you? Please help me to become a pure devotee. How have you got? I want to buy everything, all the books you've got. I don't know if 5,000 euros is enough for the Bhagavad Gita, but take it all. You don't meet many people like this, especially in Paris. What do they say in Paris? Come on, you Parisians, when you offer them a book, what do they say? Loud and clear. Non merci! No mercy. Get out of here. No mercy. Cult. Ah. Is that right? They're book distributors in Paris. What do you do? Hey, take this. Boom. Take the book or else. Boom. Is that what you do? Yeah. Trip them over. Put your foot out. Ah, boom. Jump on top. No. What do you do? What do you do? Oh, come on. Okay, you might insist a little bit, but not too much. This is France. What do? You have to tolerate, don't you? You won't last very long. Merci beaucoup, merci beaucoup. I'm very good because I don't understand what they're saying because I don't really speak French. So I just smile and say merci beaucoup, merci beaucoup. They're cursing me probably. But you have to tolerate. You have to be very humble and respectful. It's a great, you can say, practicing like an apprenticeship to develop these qualities. But devotional service in general is all types of service in the associated devotion. Krishna is behind everything. He knows what we need. He's making or allowing certain situations to evolve for our purification. Sanat Kumar said, O Devashi Narada, the proper way to chant the holy name is to always avoid the 10 offenses. There is no need for any other process of spiritual elevation other than chanting the holy name, for the holy name alone can award one the highest perfection. Taking shelter of Lord Chaitanya, Prabhupada emphasizes this, Gaurnitai, Panchatattva, isn't it? More than anything, practically, before we chant Hare Krishna, we can't approach Radha Krishna unless we go through the Gaurnitai or Panchatattva. Not possible. We have to take shelter. That means taking shelter of the Sankirtan movement, serving the Vaishnavas, following Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings, worshipping Gaurnitai, dancing, chanting. Everything becomes easy, Raviraj says, if we remember Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And before chanting Hare Krishna, because the Lord is very kind, He doesn't consider the offenses, thus we can chant the holy name and cultivate Shuddhanam. One or two more things. Prabhupada says we should chant more. If we're offensive, sometimes devotees say, oh, better I chant one round offenselessly than chant 16 offensive rounds. Well, that's a contradiction. If you could chant one word offenselessly, Ek barnam rase matare, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, you're going to chant always like that. It doesn't happen like that. Offenseless chanting is not just some mechanical process. It's a state of consciousness in the heart. It's with love. Prabhupada said, you come to that when you come to it. It's not like you can impose it. And Prabhupada's process says you chant more, not less. Increase your chanting. Oh, my chant's used. Then chant more. More and more. Any more. What else? Prabhupada says, okay, this is the one we're finishing on. They may chant, but they must understand that the chanting process will be more effective. That they must know chanting is open. Anyone can chant, but they must know it. If I chant in the proper process, then it will be effective. Because if we follow the proper process means, what does it mean? Pardon? What does it mean to follow the proper process? It can mean many things. Where do we get the proper process from? In our case, Srila Prabhupada. We get it. It's not something we make up. It comes down from Krishna through the parampara. And if we have a little faith, we follow what they're giving us. They give their mercy when they see we're trying. Like a child learning to walk. Offenseless, Prabhupada said. So now we go one step further. We're in Bhajana Kriya. Now we're going on. We want to come to Nishta Bhajana Kriya. On towards Anartha Nivritti, removal of anarthas. Offenseless. He must be properly initiated. It does not mean that he should not be initiated in chant. That you can do, but it won't have the final effect. That is not the idea. You can, Prabhupada says, but you must be initiated. Either you are grihastha or sannyasi or brahmachari. Not that without being initiated, you'll whimsically chant and the effect will be the same. No, you must be initiated. Ado gurvashrayam. You must accept a guru. So Prabhupada emphasizes this importance in the proper process, includes the necessity. It's a surrender. As they surrender unto me, I reward them according. So initiation is the process of surrender and is a continuing surrender. Well, we've run out of time. We're going to finish there. I wanted to go on to other topics, but time does not allow. So we'll leave it there for now. And now we're going on to the Achaman, and we request Jayanitai Prabhu to please take us through the Achaman. And while we're doing this, a little quiet kirtans can begin. We want 4 devotees on the 4 corners to settle themselves down. Vasikananda is going to organize, if not already organized. And the kirtan party is already organized. Very gentle. Turn on Jayanitai Prabhu's mic. Is it on? Oh, is it on?
Hare Krishna.
Okay, it's sort of on.
Okay, so Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Maharaj, for your amazing lecture, and thank you very much for engaging me in service today of all these wonderful devotees, which will hopefully help me to come to the platform of offenseless chanting. So we're going to start with the Achaman. So there are some Achaman cups here. Maybe we can pass them out, and someone for the ladies.
Quickly as we can. You can quickly explain if you want.
Okay.
We're waiting Oma Pavatu or what they're supposed to do.
While we're passing out, the Achaman process is the process for purification. So by touching water, we become pure outside, but we will take this water, which is now Ganga Jal, and we'll take you through, each of you will take you through the process of doing Achaman. So first you're going to take your right hand and make this mudra like this. Create a little indent in your hand. This is called the Brahmatirtha. You'll take a little bit of water. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
So if there's not enough Achaman cups, then you can share a little bit of the water. Okay. So if you hold your hand out like this, you take a drop of water and put it in your hand, and you can dump it on the floor to first purify your hand. Then you take another spoonful of water, place it in your right hand, place it up to your mouth, and please repeat after me. Om Keshavaya Namaha. And now you drink. And you repeat again. Om Narayanaya Namaha, and drink. And again, hold up to your mouth. Om Madhavaya Namaha, and drink. And then last time, just put in your hand and wash your hand, and then that Achaman process is complete. And then everyone can please repeat after me. Om Apavitrava Pavitrova Sarvavastam Gatopiva Yasmaret Pundarikaksham Sabhyabhyantaraha Shuchihi Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu. Marge, did you want to explain that a little bit? You mentioned explaining.
The mantra which Jayanitai Prabhu has just chanted and you've repeated is a very famous mantra, which means that whatever state we're in, whether we're clean or unclean, if one remembers the lotus-eyed Lord, genuinely remembers that lotus-eyed Lord, one becomes purified within and without. That's no excuse, by the way, to not take a bath. We should also do that. Cleanse our body, cleanse our clothes, cleanse everything around us. This is a cleansing process. So now we're going to have change the neck beads, please. Change the neck beads, or put the neck beads on, whatever the case may
So
be.
if you're
4 or 5 devotees, please, in action. When I took initiation in
remove the old neck beads first, please. Remove the old ones. You might need help to do that.
Yeah, a few devotees, remove the old ones. There's some, don't pull too hard. When we first got initiated in 1972, Srila Prabhupada sent us back to sit down again because we didn't have neck beads on. New neck beads. This is your dog collars. Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Oh Hare Hare Bolo 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 one now all together Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So now we're going to begin the Namkarana ceremony. Is everything ready? Everything's done? You haven't forgotten anything? Hope they haven't forgotten the regulated principles. So we'll call devotees up. I have a table here. Let's see. Is this some discrimination? It looks like a beautiful meal. You have to look. I don't know if you can see. Look at the color of that test. This proves that devotees are not in Mayavadis. Everyone's very individual. They all got their own beads. Everyone's very, very different to the next. Amazing. Take a picture. If you got one. I've never seen such a colorful tray of japa beads as this one. If I tip it on its side, they'll all fall out. So I can't do that. Take a picture so that people can see it. The official photographer here. So you have to spin it around, huh? So we're going to call upon, no specific order, back to Peter. Now, Peter, you first of all offer your obeisances here properly. Then to Srila Prabhupada, make space here, please. And then to the deities, make space there as well. I don't know where you're going to be. You have to be on the stage or something. Stage, maybe. You get it? So Peter, and after Peter, we'll go right, left, right, left, right, left, okay, along the line. So Peter is serving in our Brno Yatra, Navagokul, in Czech Republic. Brahmachari, they have a wonderful project there. Sankirtan Center, farming, cows, trying to live a simple life, simple living, high thinking, along with the chanting of the holy names, pure chanting. Where did his beads go? They disappeared, did they? Oh, this one. And then the next one will be Nari. So you can get Nari ready, huh? Oh yeah, thank you. Okay. So Nari, you can over there. And Peter. Here you go. Okay. You're not nervous, are you? He's nervous. No, come on. Relax. So, Peter, what are the 4 regulated principles? Very good. How many rounds? And Kadashi? Yeah, 6 minutes 16. Okay. Try to chant more. Prabhupada likes us to chant more every day, but especially on the Kadashi. So we want you all to please bless Peter in his devotional service. Here we are in front of the deities, in front of Srila Prabhupada, in front of the fire. Well, not yet the fire, but will be. And all you wonderful Vaishnavas here assembled here today in New Mayapur, all these devotees, please bless them that they can live their whole life serving Srila Prabhupada's mission in whatever capacity it may be, but dedicate their lives. By your blessings, everything is possible. Without the blessings of the Vaishnavas, nothing is impossible. Nothing is possible. So on behalf of Srila Prabhupada, we are very privileged to have this opportunity to serve you, and we hope and pray to help you to become more and more dedicated in this mission of Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement. So your name, I've written it on the back, or we had it written on the back. That's your old name. That's your new name. Okay? Your name is Padmalochandas.
Haribo! Padmalochan Prabhu K.
Hare Krishna. And one way I got this name, the other day when I was thinking of names, I was in a retreat in a place called Lincoln in UK. And we were discussing very dear god brothers who'd passed away and god sisters. And one of those names was Padmalochan. So I thought that's a nice name. Now we're going to call upon, after Nari, we're going to call upon Pitambar. Haribon, Hari. You might need translation. Nari is also from Czech, although she is more associated with our temple in Singhachalam in Germany. Her mother, her father, are they here? Here they are. Radha Krishna, your wife is here also. And your son, where's your son? Oh, he's the Madanga boy over here. Family members. And wonderful, wonderful, wonderful family. And the temple were please, recommending, requesting, please give mercy on behalf of Prabhupada. So we're very privileged today to render this little service to Nari. She's very young, perhaps my youngest disciple. Do you know what the regulative principles are? You can say in Czech if it's easier. You sure? Okay. Very good. hand. Jai. One other, but you will find that later. Did she say? Oh. Good. Wonderful. Are we ready? Where'd the beads go? Beautiful beads. Very nice to chant. So, Nari, you'll be happy to know that I chose a name. I showed it to your father. Right? Was it okay? It was the very name it was in your heart, right? Same name. So it must be Krishna's arrangement. Mridungas, cartels, let's have a crescendo when these devotees take this step forward. Your name is Narayani Devi.
Haribol! Narayani Devi K.
Next is Pitambar. Oh, I'm sorry, you should have done that before. So after Pitambar will be Monica. So if Monica can come up and pay obeisance, is she here? Where's Monica? There she is. Come on, Monica. You can follow him, then you'll be ready, so we don't have to wait so long. Someone can explain to Monica what to do? Hare Krishna. Monica is also from Brno. Many of these devotees are from Brno in Czech Republic. Your husband, your partner is here. Is he? Where's Arthur? Here he is. They're partners. And she is working as an accountant. Still working? Accountant? Working as an accountant in Brno. Don't fall asleep, Pitambar. We're running late. Pitambar is from London. Right? London. Working in nursery. NHS, yeah. He's working with the NHS in the medical world. Wonderful devotee. Has been serving in the temple sometimes in London. Pitambar Prabhu. What are the 4 regulated principles? Four rounds. The secret came out. This is ISKCON. You came to the wrong ceremony. This is ISKCON. Where's your mentor? Where's your mentor? Is it him? Him. He's French. No wonder. He's from France. What have you been teaching him? What have you been teaching him? Should be ashamed of yourself. Well, it suddenly changed. Somebody whispered in your ear, did they? Minimum. Oh, wonderful. Is that okay? It's okay. Lucky your temple president's not here. Oh, he's keen. He's got his hands out already. I haven't given them yet. Beggar. He's a beggar. So, Pitambar Prabhu, where's it gone? There it is. Your name is Priya Bandhu Das. Haribol!
Priya Bandhu Prabhu K.
Uh-oh. 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 You didn't tell me. We'll have to just wait a little while, Monica. Where is she? Just wait a minute. Yes. We have to open it on the right page. We're going to call now on Katka, also from Czech. Where's Katka? Haribol. Katka is also in medical or care. She's going to go to Mayapur and serve in Mayapur very soon in our hospital there. Haribo. She's also from the Brno district. And after Katka, we'll be calling upon Katya. Yeah, you can follow on straight here. And you give me my computer. And whilst they're off in obeisance, I'm sorry about this. I chose a name, but there was already somebody with that name in that particular place yesterday, I found out. And then it didn't choose another name. Loud and clear with the holy name. Ramo. Louder.
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Krishna Krishna.
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Hare Rama.
Just keep it.
Hare Rama.
Okay.
Hare Rama.
Hare Rama.
Katka. Where's Katka? Microphone. So what are the four regulated principles, Katka? Very good. So, Katka, we wish you all the best on your journey to the Holy Dham and your service there. We hope to see you back here whenever Krishna arranges, and you will. He serves here quite often. Please give your blessings. Your name is Kamala Sundari Devi Dasi. Hari Bol.
Kamala Sundari Devi K.
So now Katya from Ukraine. Nice beats. You need translation? Four regulated principles. Khichdi? No khichdi? No what? No coffee, no tea, no intoxication. No gambling. Very good. And Katya has also been serving here for quite a long time now. How long? 1 year almost? 9 months? 10 months. And she's also going for a short while to India. We hope to see you back here in the near future. We love, devotees here love your service and your association. So Katya, we're honored to have this opportunity to officially connect you to our parampara. Your name is Kasturi Manjari Devi.
Haribo. Kasturi Manjari Devi K.
And next. I'd like to call Monica. You won't know it.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Sorry to keep you waiting there. It was a last minute. Illicit sex. Very nice. Your name is Mohini Murti Devi.
Haribo! Mohini Murti Devi K.
Now two at once here, Alex and his wife Anusha. Please come forward. You can offer together. They are serving in Belfast for many, many years, preaching there in university, sometimes going on Harinam. They have a daughter also. Alex is a translator. He translates from Russian into English. Alex, what are the four regulated principles? When I was thinking of a name for Alex the other day, I just went quickly on our Dandavat's account and I saw one of our dear godbrothers, Amayatma Prabhu, had passed away. So I thought of a name for Alex. You see, they're all beginning with the same name, which they already have. Your name is Amayatma Prabhu, Das rather. Amayatma Das.
Amayatma Prabhu K.
Amayatma. And his good wife, Anusha. Very good. Again, we were talking about wonderful Vaishnavis who served in the British Yatra, Prabhupada disciples. And so we're giving you a name of one of those wonderful Vaishnavis. Your name is Amekala Devi Dasi. Haribo!
Amekala Devi Dasi K.
Amekala in her later service was married to Shruti Kirti Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Is that it? Two more. One more. One more? One more? So I'd like to call upon Dilip. Family are serving here for a long time. And he's coming here to serve soon, is that right? Living in London at present. And then I hope that we're ready with Vidananda Maharaj. Just another 2 or 3 minutes and we'll be finished. Vidananda Maharaj will be addressing us in a few minutes and we'll be giving initiation to Bola. Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama. Very enthusiastic down there. All together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Dilip, four regulated principles. Chanting. Ekadashi. More on Ekadashi. So Dilip, we're very happy to have this opportunity to serve you in this way. Your name is Dina Dayal Das.
Haribo! Dina Dayal Prabhu K!
He's very compassionate on the fallen. Priya Bandhu is working in medicine, so he's also very kind to devotees. Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. So now we're going to move on to the, I guess, is on the screen. Janananda Maharaj is with us. How are we going to do this? Paula?
can't hear him. Video approved. Hare Krishna, Krishna. They won't need Anjuman again. You won't need it again. That's why I took it.
Yes, I can see you.
Yeah.
Some technical difficulties, maybe. Nah. Good.
But we need to hear him, right?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna!
Oh, good. Okay.
It's
All right.
Can you?
So you can hear me?
Yes, Maharaj.
Ah, very good. Très bien. So first, I wish everyone a very happy Balaram's appearance day. And Prabhupada explains in various places, such as his purport to, but in various places, Prabhupada explains that a bona fide spiritual master is a representative of Lord Nityananda, who is, of course, Balaram. That Balaram is actually the original spiritual master. So one point that's important to understand for all of us, especially those who are initiated, is that we are actually monotheists. We are not polytheists. We don't believe there are many gods. There's ultimately one God. And that is actually the message of the Bhagavad Gita. It's the message of the Bhagavatam, that there is ultimately one supreme God. This point has been misunderstood. Actually, it's misunderstood by, I almost want to say, most scholars, not scholars directly of Indology, but Christian theologians and philosophers who think that, in fact, they often distinguish between Asian or Eastern religion and the Judeo-Christian Islamic things by saying that Judaism, Christianity, and Islam are the monotheistic religions, whereas somehow in Asia, India, and various places where Buddhism is prominent, that it is somehow polytheistic or non-theistic. But actually, the Vedas and all the Vedic literature teach that there is one, that there is one God. And so, for example, in Krishna's pastime, when he was hiding from the gopis during the Rasa dance, and then he appeared as Narayan, and the gopis looked at him very closely and thought, "You're actually Krishna in disguise." And so, in other words, Narayan is not a separate person. Even Balaram is an expansion of Krishna. In fact, he's the first expansion, plenary expansion, which means he's Krishna himself. So why does Krishna expand himself as Balaram, and how is that related to the process of initiation? Anyway, I've given myself that philosophical challenge today. So there's a common strategy in police work. I don't know how you say it in French or other languages, but in English they say good cop, bad cop. In other words, when the police are trying to get someone to confess or to give up their criminal life, there are two policemen, and one of them is very heavy and threatening, and the other one is very nice and says, "Well, yeah, I understand he's kind of heavy, but really we're just trying to help you." And so this combination of someone who is heavy and someone who's a little milder is an effective strategy to get people to accept. In fact, Balaram is almost like our uncle. I mean, it's a common thing that sometimes I think in many families you may have some disagreement with your parents or some problem, and then you go to your uncle or you go to your aunt. And so Krishna is so intelligent that he understands that in this world everyone is envious of him, more or less. And he comes and he teaches Bhagavad Gita. He kills demons. He has to instruct us, order us what we have to do. But then he also appears as Balaram, who can be more informal with us. In fact, if you look at Balaram's pastimes, they often are very funny, or they're very informal. And so Balaram, and then Krishna not only expands himself in many ways, but Krishna also appears as the spiritual master. Of course, the spiritual master normally is a jiva soul, is not God, and yet Krishna empowers a servant to act as a spiritual master, and Krishna even arranges to give credit to that guru, even though everything is actually his mercy. So, so in the case of initiation, we are in a sense to accept initiation, to make vows, to devote oneself to Krishna, is to reciprocate because Krishna is already devoted to us. Krishna says in the famous verse in Bhagavad Gita 5:29 that Bhoktarang yajna tapasang sarvaloka maheswaram suhridang sarvabhutanam gyatva mam shanti murchati. The one who knows me as Bhoktaram, the enjoyer of sacrifice, offerings, and Bhoktaram and austerities. In other words, whatever trouble we take in life, is ultimately for Krishna. And Sarva Loka Maheshwaram, because he is the great Lord of all the worlds, literally, Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. But he is Suhridang Sarva Bhutana. He is the well-wishing friend of all living beings. And the word which Prabhupada often translates well-wisher, the Sanskrit word, of course, is suhrit. Suhrit, and that literally means someone that has a good heart. Because hurt in Sanskrit, or people pronounce it hrit, which is not technically correct, but you understand it. So suhrit, hrit or hurt is that's where we get the English word heart. The English word heart is Sanskrit hurt, actually, pronounced that way. And su means good. We also have the word su in European languages, which anyway, through the Greek, it became EU, like eugenics or euphony or a euphemism. And so that prefix in European languages, EU, is actually Sanskrit SU. And so suhrit means to have a good heart. Krishna says he has a good heart toward all of us. Krishna says that he is maintaining the world. So Krishna says that he is protecting us from injustice, that he comes in every age to destroy injustice and to establish justice. So Krishna is already, you could say, devoted to us. In fact, Krishna says that. He directly says he is devoted to us in the Bhagavad Gita, where he states that Jejata mam prapadyante, as all people approach me. The word prapadyante is often translated surrender, which it can mean. It also literally means to approach. Pad, the verb pad means to go. And that's why you get the word pada, which means foot, because it's your foot that goes. So, and pra means forth, directement. So prapad actually means to approach, to go towards someone, to go to someone. And so Prabhupada gave the example that just as if you approach the sun, you become fire. So if you don't want to get hot, or if you don't want to become fire, then you can't approach the sun. So Krishna, if you approach Krishna, you become transformed. You cannot approach Krishna and not be transformed. And what's interesting is that Krishna says, Jejata mam prapadyante, tangs tataiva bhajamiham. As everyone approaches me, I reciprocate. But the word which is translated reciprocate is bhajami. It's exactly the same word that you find, for example, in Govindam Adi Purusham Tamang Bhajami, or the word bhajan, which devotees tend to pronounce, or in the West they pronounce bhajan, which technically means a container. But anyway, the devotional activity is bhajan. So bhajanam, and then the verb bhajami, I worship, but that's the word Krishna uses. Krishna says, everyone, as they approach me, I tangs tataiva, exactly in the same way that you approach me, bhajami aham. I reciprocate with you. And then Krishna says, mama vart manu vartante, Manusha, Partha Sarvasya, that all people in all respects, are following my path. So let's say someone is an atheist. Let's say someone is an atheist, but is attached to their physical body. But that body is a creation of Krishna. They have this type of humanism where they try to appreciate the beauty of nature, or just human poetry or intellectuality. But that's all ultimately created by Krishna. So everyone is attracted to Krishna. But in fact, Krishna in chapter 10 of the Gita, after describing certain extraordinary things of this world and saying that I am those things, he then concludes by saying, he says that Jajat Vibhuti Matsato, any extraordinary existence, any extraordinary thing in this world, Jajat Vibhuti Matsatam, Srimad, which is beautiful, Urjitam, powerful, Evacha, etc. Tattadevava Gachatvam, in each and every case, you should understand that is simply a spark of my splendor. Mama tejo angsha sambhavam. So, to devote yourself to Krishna, and of course, taking initiation is one of the basic principles of devotional service. So, to devote yourself in this way is to reciprocate with Krishna, because Krishna is already reciprocating with us. But Krishna is more than reciprocating, because beyond reciprocation, even if you don't accept Krishna, he's still providing for you. Krishna is still giving you a world to live in. So, so to take initiation is to understand that everything good in my life is coming from God, and that unless I reciprocate, I'm acting like a barbarian. So not to surrender to Krishna simply means that one is uncivilized. It's like if you walk into a store and you take some merchandise and you walk out, but you don't pay. It's simply, Krishna says it's actually criminal. He says in the Bhagavad Gita that,
Coloquei, meu amor.
what's that? Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that if you accept all the gifts that are coming from the devas and ultimately from me, but you don't offer back, then Krishna says, Tayar datan apradayaypyo yo bhunkte stena ivasa. A person is nothing but a thief. So initiation, spiritual initiation in Krishna consciousness, in one sense, simply means to become a civilized human being, to recognize the source of everything good in life, and then to reciprocate. And that reciprocation is with Balaram also, because he's the original spiritual master. So I am acting as a spiritual master, doing my best. And but ultimately, I or any other guru is simply a tiny servant of Lord Balaram, who's a direct expansion of Krishna. So, so that's the significance, actually, of what we're doing here today. All of us, and those of you who maybe are not being initiated or not giving initiation today, but everyone here is obeying Krishna, because Krishna says, Man mana, think of me. So if you go to a Hare Krishna temple, there's going to be lots of Krishna. And so so just by going to a Hare Krishna temple or living in a Krishna temple, you are obeying Krishna, because Krishna says, Man mana bhava, always think of me. Bhava Mad Bhakto, become my devotee. Madhyaji, worship me. Mang Namaskuru, and bow to me. So all of us are simply giving up our criminal life. All of us are simply giving up our uncivilized, inappropriate material life and accepting reality and reciprocating with Krishna and understanding who we really are. We are eternal servants of the servant, of the servant of God, of Krishna. So Balaram comes to this world, Krishna comes to this world to help us to understand these things. Balaram was so merciful, he even tried to help Duryodhana. And sometimes devotees are confused. Why did Balaram help Duryodhana? Well, first of all, Balaram did not take Duryodhana's side. Balaram never said that actually Duryodhana is right and the Pandavas are wrong and the Pandavas should give everything to Duryodhana. No. And when the battle of Kurukshetra came, Balaram did not protect Duryodhana. He did not fight with him. So we should not misunderstand this point. Balaram never supports evil. But he showed Balaram, who's Krishna, he's God, by trying to help Duryodhana, he showed the truth of what he says in the Bhagavad Gita, Samohang Sarvabhuteshu. I'm equal to all living beings. Of course, Krishna reciprocates, but he was giving Duryodhana a chance. He was, otherwise someone could say that, okay, God comes to this world, he doesn't try to help the fallen souls, he just smashes them. No, Balaram tried to help. Balaram gave Duryodhana every opportunity, and Duryodhana simply did not take advantage. So anyway, those are some of the points I could make here. Are there any questions so far on these points? Idia de demain. Are there any questions? No questions? They're free. All right, so if there are no questions, then actually usually if devotees don't ask questions, there's one of two reasons. Either they actually understand everything or they're hungry and they don't want to prolong the program. So, okay, so Paula, you can, I guess, come toward the camera, offer obeisances, and then we will get you initiated. So, Hare Krishna. So, can you speak so I see if I can hear you? So, following Prabhupada's system, now you can explain what is the vow that you are making. So 16 rounds of the Maha Mantra, right? Every day, 16 rounds of the Maha Mantra and the four principles. Very good. So the name Krishna inspired me to give you, I'll put it in the chat. First, I'll put it there and then I'll explain it. So the name is Krishna Palita. Palita means protected, protegida. And so la protégée de Krishna. So Krishna Palita means one who's protected by Krishna. Krishna Palita Devi Dasi. So so you understand that, right? Hare Krishna. Prazer. Hey, how you doing? Radhanath Swami? Oh, maybe I can't see him from here. Well, anyway, Radhanath Swami, it's great to have your association in this digital forum. Radhanath Swami, everyone knows, is a wonderful Vaishnav who has done unlimited devotional service for Prabhupada and Balaram. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Yes. Yeah, go ahead. I don't want to delay you. Please go ahead. Hare Krishna. Haribol. Thank you all. Merci à tous.
Everyone can come in a little bit closer, please. So we're going to now invoke the sacred fire into the assembly of Vaishnavas here. Lord Vishnu will make himself present in the form of the fire to accept the offerings of these grains. We request all the devotees, please, this is the method for offering grains. Use these 3 fingers and you offer into the fire here, usually underhand if you can, not overhand, and try to hit the fire and not the priest. Like that. Like that, underhand. Yes, so we're going to repeat all the words together as we go, but first I'll invoke the fire so we can have kirtan while we're doing this. Om Kavyade Magnim Brahmam Mandoram Yamarajam Gachatu Libramaha. Om Bur
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama.
Om Mangala Namagniya Gacha Agnitvam Mangala Namasiya Gacha Tishtisha Sani Rehi Sani Rujasa Samuko Baba Yamriti Kuru Yam Parame Kuru. Turje Twa Vayavasto Payavasta Devo Vasavita Ravayato Shistas Tamaya Kamane Agna everyone to please repeat. Om Bhagana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshu Anmilitengena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Swaha 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 Nam Vishnuve Nam Namama Om Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Gena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swa Padantikam Swaha 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 Nam Vishnuve Nam Namama Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Parakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Sham Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Harijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitam Shah Swaha 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 Nam Vishnuve Nam Namama Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Janananda Goswami Iti Namine Swaha 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 Nam Vishnuve Nam Namama Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Hridayananda Goswami Iti Namine Swaha 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 Namaste Guru Hamsaya Paramananda Medase Prabhupada Pramodaya Dushta Siddhanta Nasine Swaha 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 Nam Vishnuve Nam Namama Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Swaha 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 Nam Vishnuve Nam Namama Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavani Paschacha Deshatarine Swaha 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 Svedam Namama Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Tinamine Swaha 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 Nam Namama Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Dayatya Kripabhadye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha Swaha Swaha Swaha. So everyone can just do a few grains, okay? Few grains, because we have a lot of offerings. Madhuryo Jwala Premadya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Swaha 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 Nam Vishnuve Nam Namama Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Virudapasananta Dvanta Harine Swaha 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 Nam Vishnuve Nam Namama Namo Gora Kashoraya Sakshat Vairagya Mortaye Vipralamba Rasambode Parambuje Te Namaha Swaha 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 Nam Vishnuve Nam Namama Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidananda Namine Goda Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Bharite Swaha 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 Nam Vishnuve Nam Namama Goda Virbhava Bhume Swam Nirdeshta Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannathaya Te Namaha Swaha 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 Nam Vishnuve Nam Namama Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Swaha 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 Nam Vishnuve Nam Namama Pancha Tattva Makam Krishna Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktyakam Namami Bhakti Shaktikam Swaha 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 Namo Maha Varanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gaura Tvishe Namaha Swaha 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 Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namo Namostute. Swaha. 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 Nam Vishnuve Nam Namama. Tapta Kanchana. Gaurange. Radhe. Vrindavaneshwari. Vrishabhanu. Sute Devi. Pranamami. Hari Priye. Swaha. 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 Nam Namama. Jai Shri Krishna. Chaitanya. Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita. Gadadhara. Shivazadi. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Swaha. 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 Nam Vishve Nam Namama. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Swaha. 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 Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Swaha. 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 Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Swaha. 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 Om Swaha. Nam Vishme Nam Namama. Om Bhuva Swaha. Nam Chutai Nam Namama. Om Swaha. Nam Vishwanai Namaha. Om Bhuva Swaha. Nam Anantai Nam Namama. Okay, so everyone can please stand up now and we'll do the final offerings. So everyone will offer their banana now into the fire. Just give me one moment to prepare the fire.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Haribo.
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Jaya Radha Govinda Madhava, Radha Govinda Madhava Radhe.
Jaya Radha Govinda Madhav, Radha Govinda Madhav, Shri Radhe.
Jaya Krishna Balaram, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Prabhupada ki, Nam Prabhu ki, Taigo Premanandi.
Joy.
Next one.
Thank you.
Cute.
Yum yum.
In May 2022, 51 years later today, he came to France, and he is a lovely, beautiful little lady, Srila Prabhupada. You can see him, he's so sweet. Give a kiss. Beautiful day here, Prabhupada.
Wow. What do I do with myself now? It's so hot. Very nice mochi. Can you see?
No. I'm blind and eat glasses.
Devotees in Russia, they were doing Sankirtan for like the marathon, and all of the coins that they collected from the marathon, they melted it and made these murtis of Prabhupada,
Wow.
and they made just a certain amount, and they gave Maharaja one of these for giving a donation to help the Moscow Sankirtan.
Oh. I love the taste of Janananda with the body.
Flute, yeah.
So good.
I got a friend who's got one of those made from the Siddha Bakul tree. It's like Govindadev in Sumatra.
What?
Govindadev, he's like the temple